Hi guys, welcome to ThomTech Tutorials. I am Thomas and this is session 12 of Azure Data Factory tutorial 2. So in this session we are going to cover what is integration runtime, linked services, datasets and parameters in detail. And before we jump on to the tutorials, please do like and subscribe my channel guys. Okay, so with that let's begin the tutorial. So first would be like what is integration runtime. So we already covered this in the previous sessions, and let me just give a quick definition of that. So it's like a infrastructure, a compute infrastructure that helps the Azure Data Factory to make a connectivity or like communication with the sources. Okay, and now let's move to the Azure portal and ADF to see the practical scenario. Okay, and we will see like how to create it. And we before that, let's understand like we have total three type of integration runtime. Okay, that is like Azure integration runtime, which it's also called as like auto resolve integration runtime. Second one is like a self-hosted integration runtime that is used to connect the on-premise or the private network from the Azure. Okay, and then third one is like a execute or like a Azure SSIS integration runtime, so that is used to like execute SSIS packages like from ADF. Okay, and with that let's now switch back to our Azure portal. So this is our ADF. Okay, and we have the Azure portal on the left side of the Explorer. Okay, so let me just show you. We have different options over here: home, author, monitor and manage. Let's click on manage. So when you click on manage, you will see we have different options over here: linked services, integration runtimes and all those type of things. Okay, triggers, we have global parameters, many others are also there. So let's keep the scope till linked services and the integration runtime for this session. So you can see we already have one integration runtime, which is actually an auto resolve integration runtime, the default one. So this one gets created when we create a ADF by default. Okay, so now let me just show you how to create it. Okay, so let me just click over here, new, select Azure, click on Azure. Since this is the default one, we have an option to create the self-hosted as well. Let's click on Azure, click OK, provide a name, custom Azure IR. Okay, you can add some descriptions over here and then keep this region as auto resolved. Go to the data flow properties. So basically these are some properties that data flow uses, okay, to execute the pipeline. That means data flow is one of the activity or a component within Azure Data Factory. Okay, and the data flow uses this IR for execution. Okay, so these are some of the options which helps the data flow to execute with like much better speed and performance. Okay, so for that purpose we have these options open to be filled in, so we can cover more in detail like when we work on, or we can start on like a data flows. So with that, let's click on create. Okay, now we got our IR created. Okay, the second IR created, you can see if you want to see the JSON details of that, how it got created. So you can see these are the details like how it got created. Okay, let's cancel this. And now let's go to the linked services. Click on linked services. So before that, let's understand what is the linked services. We covered it like, but let's recall it one more time. So linked services is a connection manager, okay, that allows a connectivity to a source. Okay, and basically this connectivity established from ADF to the source or to the destination. Okay, but for that connectivity we should have like a one integration runtime, right? So these connection managers or this linked services will make use of those IRs in order to make a bridge to that connectivity. Okay, so let me just show you that data lake. So I'm just selecting a data lake and my intention is to create a linked service or a connection managers to the data lake. Okay, so you know that we already got one data lake created. Okay, this one. So if I go to my home page in the previous step, if you have not seen my previous sessions, please do go and watch my previous sessions. I will put the playlist link below. And this is our data lake that we got created. So let's go back, click on Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2 and click continue. and provide a name to my linked service. So since it's a linked service, I will give a name like this, that is lk underscore ADLS, that is Azure Data Lake. Okay, and then you can see this is the important part. This linked services is making use of the integration runtime. Okay, and since our data lake is present within the Azure, it will make use of the default integration runtime or the custom, because both are same. Okay, and if we select on this, it will make use of authentication mode as like a account key to establish the connectivity, and then subscription, I need to provide my free subscriptions. And when I select my free subscriptions, automatically what all account storage name is present under that subscription, it will pop up in the Dropbox. Okay, click on this, see this is my data lake name, select this, and now good, we are good. So there are two options as well, to link service and to file path. Okay, so when we have our ADF have full access to the storage account, that is at the, from the root level, if we have the access, then probably we can select this. But in some scenario, in some organization, what happens is we might have to create a link service to a Azure data lake. Okay, but that will be outside a resource group. That means that will be outside the resource group in which this ADF is residing. So what will happen, they are not going to give us the full access to that data lake. Instead, they will provide access to the topic or the container. So in that case, we need to select, or we can select to file path, provide your container name. Let's suppose I am providing something like thom tech. So this is my container type, and I am putting my directory name. And then if I click on test connection, then it will provide me as a success. Okay, but for now let's cancel this and click on this to link service, since the data lake resides in the same resource group, and we have the complete access from the root level. So just click on this, it will show us connection successful. Then click on create, and this is like some notification, it's just telling that the link service will be pushed into the data factory directly. Click on OK. We can use Azure Key Vault also, so we will cover the Key Vault in later sessions, and we will see like how we can store the credentials in the Key Vault and how we can access that from Key Vault. Okay, let's click OK. So that's it. So our link service is ready now. Now let's go to the authors mode. So now we have our integration runtime ready, our link services are ready. Okay, now let's go to the data sets. Before that, let's create a quick folder, data integration. Okay, so this is my, you can say, project or like a folder name, data integration. Expand this, go over here, create a new pipeline. Okay, I will put this as this landing data. So this is my pipeline name, and we can put this prefix as PL and then landing data. Okay, and underscore if you want to put executions. Okay, so you can put execution. So this is like some sort of like, you can say, a suffix that you can use just to tell that this is a child pipeline or something like that. And once this pipeline is created, now let's go and create a data set. So before we create a data set, let's pull out one activity. So what we can pull out, let's see, or what I will suggest is, let's click on this data set. Okay, click over here, create a new folder, data ingestion landing. You can name like this. So this folder structures will help us to organize our linked services. Okay, and in fact, like not the linked services, but the data sets, data flows, and our pipelines. Okay, so let's click on create. So this is a folder that I got created under data sets. Now inside this, I will go and create a new data sets. Let's click on this new data sets, and what will be my data? It's going to be a data lake, right? Let's click on data lake gen2, click on this, and now you have to tell what is the type of file. So for that, now it's like an important thing. I have created few files. okay, and I will keep that into my storage account first. So I will show you like how you can post your file to the storage account. Let's click over here and click on this. So these are the 4 files that I got for the session, practical session, that is vendor, product, transaction and customer. Okay, and this is not like some sort of like real data or something, it's just like a test filled data. Okay, so let me show you like how we can get these files. First would be, let's get this path, go to our Azure portal, click over here, okay, and then click on my storage account and then click on containers, and I already have my container created. So I already showed how to create a container and how to create folder structures in my previous sessions. So I can put the link below, you can go through and find out like how to create a containers and how to lay down the folders inside. Let's click over here. Now you can see I have created 3 folders very beautifully. Let me click on source and then upload, click over here, put this path, select all the files and upload. Okay, so you see all the 4 files got uploaded to the data lake under source folder. Okay, that's it. Now let's go to the Azure Data Factory. Let's select on cancel once again just to show it again. Now this is our data set, right? Click over here, new data set. What is the storage account? It's a data lake gen 2. Click over here, and what is the type of file we have? It's an Excel file, right? As we saw here, you can see it's .xlx file, right? So we can click over here, select Excel, click on continue, go to this, put ds, that is data set, and give some name, that is store data or something, ds store data, and then you have to provide the linked service name. Okay, so that means when you create a data set, you have to provide the linked service name, and when you need to create linked service, you need to provide the integration runtimes name. Okay, so now click on this. So we have already created one linked service, right, few minutes back. So just go and select this, and then you have to select the container name, directory name and the file name. Okay, and since it's a Excel, it will show up some additional fields, that is what is the mode type, whether it is like a name we have to consider, or it's like an index, like the position of the Excel sheet that we have to consider. Okay, so since it's selected as name, I might have to like provide a Excel sheet name. So what we can do, let's first select this, browse, click on the container and click on source. So now I selected the source, and it's a folder inside that I have so many files. So I'm not going to select any specific files, just leave that and click on OK. Okay, now you can see container name, directory name and file name is blank. Okay, you can see it's nothing. Okay, it's just like a name, but it's not, it's just like a default value that's showing up, but it's, we do not have the file name over here. Okay, and now let's keep this as a worksheet mode as name and click on this drop box. I can select sheet 1. Let's see what comes up, and I will put first row as a header, and then let's check it out what is there. So we can also review the file. Let's click over here. Yeah, so it's a sheet 1, right? Let's close this, go back to folder, click OK. Now our data set will get created, and please note, I'm not providing any file name over here. So there is a reason for that. It's because when I'm moving my files from one place to another place, I don't want to keep that discrimination about the type of files, like vendor file has like 3 columns, customer file has like 2 columns, all those type of things. So I will parameterize that. So for that purpose I have not selected the file name. So now you see, okay, this is how it will come up. and now we can provide a parameter as well. Let's suppose this is my data set. Okay, now we can go ahead with the parameterization. So that is also like in our agenda for this session. Let's click over here, click on folder name. Okay, and you can provide a folder name that you want. Let's go and create a source is my folder name. Click over here and then provide the file name. So you can provide some default file name. Okay, so for the time being, let's give some name like customer this. Okay, and paste it here. That's it. And by default it has pulled the metadata of that. Let's clear this and then let's preview this and let's see what comes up. So you see the whole data came up over here. Let's now close this and let's save this. So since we have created and we did so many activities, that is creating folder and data sets, let's save this first. Okay, and now it's the important part. We have created the parameters, but we have not done any type of tagging. So how we can do the taggings? Click on this, click on add dynamic content and take the value from the folder name. This is the parameter that we got created over here, right? So let's click over here, and file name also, let's click over here and then pass this as a file name. Okay, so that's it. Now our data set has been parameterized. Click again save button. So that's all. So now in this session what we have covered is we got our IR created, that is a default one, and we got that created as well, like as a customized IR, just to show you as an example. Now we have a self-hosted integration runtime and Azure SSIS integration runtime, so that I can cover like in coming sessions when I will be trying to connect the Azure with on-premise environment. Okay, so now I think we have covered everything for this session. Okay guys, so that's it for this session, and please do like and subscribe my channel if you really enjoyed it, and have a great day ahead. Thank you guys.